Fordham here. We're going to talk about the FOIL method. This is a very specific method for multiplying polynomials. Now, you have to follow like one little rule for when you're doing this, and that it only works for a binomial times a binomial. Remember, a binomial just means it only has two terms. So when we look at all these examples, we have to make sure it's just a binomial times a binomial. Here we have example 1 already drawn up for us. So example 1, we can pretty easily see that it's a binomial times a binomial. We have two terms there, and then we have two terms there. So the way FOIL works is very simple. It's actually an acronym for first, outside, inside, and last. So let's start with first. First means we're going to multiply the first terms in each binomial, which would be x and x. So I'm going to go ahead and set it up. X times x. Outside means you're going to multiply the items on the outside. So that means x times negative 5. We're going to go ahead and just do addition in between. So that'll become x times negative 5. On the I, it means inside, so we're going to do the inner parts of the binomial system. So that would be 3 times x. And then last would be the last two terms in each binomial, so that would be 3 times negative 5. So what we then do is just clean everything up and see if we can combine any like terms. So in the first part, we can do x squared. X times negative 5, that's going to become minus 5x. Then we can do 3 times x, well that just becomes plus 3x. And then to finish it off, minus 15. And you always want to look to see if there's like terms you can combine. For instance, I can see that I have minus 5x and positive 3x. And when I combine those together, I'm going to get x squared from before, minus 2x, because they have the same last name, we're just combining them and putting them together, minus 15. And that is how you FOIL. Now, it's not always going to be that easy, but for the most part, it's really all we expect you to do. Let's take a look at a little bit more challenging of an example here. Well, I don't want to jump too far there. Okay. So here we have 2x minus 1, x squared plus 7. So again, first I'm going to start with the first terms in the binomials. So this would be 2x times x squared. Then I'm going to start with the outside, 2x times 7. Then the inside, so negative 1 times x squared. And then last, negative 1 times 7. Then we clean up what we can. 2 will just be in front here. And x times x squared, that's x cubed. Plus 2 times 7 is 14. And the x just comes along. Then we have negative 1 times x squared, so that's going to become minus x squared. And then negative 1 times 7 would be minus 7. We can look to see if there's anything to clean up, but not really. The only little detail I might see is I would switch these around just so that the exponents kind of go in descending order. So this would be 2x cubed minus x squared plus 14x minus 7. Now, some teachers might be picky and say you absolutely have to do it this way where the exponents go down like that. I would have been a-okay with this line as well. I'm not that picky. Let's take a look at one more example here so we can see how the FOIL method really works, just to get used to it some more. So again, first we're going to do x squared times x, and you might get to a point where you can kind of skip this part and just start cleaning it up. I'm writing it out for the sake of making sure we know what we're doing. So x squared times 4, just so you can at least see where the numbers came from before I put them together. Plus, inside, negative 1 times x, and last we're going to go ahead and do negative 1 times 4. So now we just clean it up. X squared times x becomes x cubed. X squared times 4 becomes 4x squared. Inside will become minus x, and the last part there will become minus 4. There's nothing to clean up. Everything's in order, so we are good to show off our answer. Thanks for watching.